Good evening, Podsters. Welcome back to Chica Off Duty. I am Pau.
And I am Dads. At kami
Nakalimutan
ang
na naman. At kami ang tambalang
Pods! Naglag ako
Pod.
doon. Sorry.
So as promised, nagbabalik na ang inyong favorite pet peeve. So it is another month. But Dods, could you remind us, ano bang buwan na ngayon?
Anong buwan ba ngayon? August. Buwan ng mga
August.
Swifties. Birth month mo.
Ano ba, huwag na nating I don't want to make this about me. Ano pang naalala mo sa August? Why is this such a special month?
Ano pa bang meron sa August? Well, tama, August ang buwan ng wika.
Correct. Ito ang buwan ng wikang pambansa. So, thanks, Manuel Alcazon. You you slapped there. Slap ba? Yung tamang term. You cooked!
Pwede din naman. You slayed there.
I was thinking of it slaps, but yeah, Manuel Alcazon, you cooked there. Okay, so buwan ng wika. So ito yung isa sa mga annual and mandatory celebrations na ginagawa natin nung nasa school pa tayo, di ba? Well, in the workplace din naman, sinaselebrate to, but I think hindi ng lahat. But I feel na, buwan ng wika, sobrang special to sa ating mga Pilipino, especially tayo lumaki sa mga, sa mga schools. Lahat naman tayo. Malay mo may nanonood na homeschooled or galing international school, o diba? Anyway, so buwan ng wika, isa to sa mga favorite months ko nung nasa school pa ako, particularly nung high school. So, eto na nga, pag-usapan natin ng isa sa mga pinaka-importanting bahagi ng buwan ng wika. At magtatagalog kami sa episode na to. Hindi kami magiging konyo. Charing. Okay, joke lang. Sige, ito, Dods.
Subukan natin.
Sure ako na napagdaanan mo to. Nung mag-aaral ka ba, nanalo ba kayo sa sabayang pagbigkas?
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
I need to tell you that I was most definitely a Bibo kid nung high school. So
I have no doubts.
I not only did participate in these things, I led them with like a burning passion. So whether sa classroom lang yan or it's for the entire school or campus. Yeah, I made sure we did well and we won a lot. Not everything, but we won a lot.
Anong piece nyo? Hulaan ko, Pag-ibig sa Tinubuong Lupa by Andres Bonifacio.
Isa yan.
He cooked there.
Tapos naka
Aling
all black.
pag-ibig ka ang hihigit kaya sa pagkadalisay at pagkadakila.
OMG, the nostalgia.
Memories ko
tapos
ba?
naka all black outfit kayo, tapos may sash kayo.
Wait lang, syempre, hindi ako magpapatalo. Sabi mo, hindi ka na nag-participate, nag-lead ka. Ako rin. Ako
diba?
lagi ang director ng mga sabayang pagbigkas namin, parang first year up until graduate ako. Although kasi sa amin, parang every year level, iba-iba kayo ng activity. I think we only did sabayang pagbigkas nung grade 7 and grade 10 na yata ako noon. And both times, ako yung director. Sorry, napatingin ako sa mic ko kung gumagana pa ba. So, ayun, proud ako kasi nanalo kami both times. And nilagay ko yun sa sa college application ko. Ganun ako proud.
Yes.
Kasi extracurricular yun.
Hindi small feat yung mga yun. Ang hirap ng mga yun, ha? Being the person na magsasabi, guys, ayusin nyo na.
Imagine,
trabaho yun, ha?
Imagine kung 40 plus students kayo and then you have to engage every single one of those students na alam mo namang hindi lahat as passionate about it, and that's fine. Also, I just want to say na I'm actually, because I was a class president back then, that's why I was naturally like the leader in those things. Medyo nagigilty ako kasi ako talaga yung person na, alam mo yung parang bigay na bigay. Feeling ko nga galit yung mga kaklase ko nun sa akin and I totally understand them. So to my high school classmates listening to this, take this as my apology for the person who I was. That wasn't me, that was Patricia.
Same thing. Same thing here. Pasensya na po kayo.
Ikaw ba yung malakas yung boses o nakikisabay ka lang sa bayang pagbigkas?
Malakas ang boses ko. Yeah. Like, kailangan, I was always the one to encourage them na parang, kailangan malaki yung galaw. You have to, you have to give it your all kahit practice pa lang. Di
Oo.
ba? Like, the whole point of it is for it to sound great, look great. So if you're not giving it sa boses nyo, di ba? Para saan pat sa bayang pagbigkas siya?
Ako yung linyahan ko dati. Guys, PL dapat, performance level.
Ako yung pag may nag-away na, guys, respeto naman.
Ikaw ba yung president? Or
Yes.
talagang director? Oh, okay.
No, as president. And even if like
Okay.
the smaller like performance task in class lang, I would always be the one to lead this thing. Anyway,
Bakit
sometimes
kaya sobrang competitive natin nung mga panahon ng sabayang pagbigkas, no? Parang same
Oo nga.
same issue nung intrams. Bakit ba bigay na bigay tayo?
Oo nga, no. Ako, I just like the feeling of winning, one. And two, we don't get many of these opportunities in high school eh. Diba? Kasi parang these special events, celebrations are our opportunities to, rare opportunities to, show our talent and sometimes as a group. So, there's a lot of there's a fun aspect to it. Kaya feel ko Gina G tayo.
Ako naman kasi ayoko lang talagang napapahiya. I mean, yes, gusto kong
Yun din
manalo, pero ayoko kasing napapahiya. Ayoko may nasasabi yung mga tao tungkol. Tinan mo, bata pa lang gano'n na mag-isip. So,
Yung section na yan.
yung section na yan. Yung mga may cartolina sa classroom, Manila paper, kami yon. Kayo ba?
Oh, yeah. And ano pa ba yung mga ganap pagbuwan ng wika? I'm pretty sure may mga essay writing contest din. Jingle making contest. Girl, sinalihan ko din yung mga yan.
Musician ka rin ba?
Like I was telling you, I also participated in a malikhaing pagkukwento.
Yung mga balagtasan ba yun? Or iba pa yung balagtasan?
Iba pa yung balagtasan. But I was also in one nung grade school. Diba?
Okay.
Kaya special sa akin ng ang August kasi nga buwan ng wika.
Oo, talagang buwan ng wikang pagbansa. Yung mga memories, balik lang ako ng konti sa bayang pagbigkas. Kasi yun talaga yung yung talagang buong lahat ng sections kasi kasama talaga siya. Unlike kapag balagtasan, halimbawa may isang representative ng per section or yung mga essay writing contest, sa bayang pagbigkas, sobrang memorable niya kasi lahat kayo kailangan pumunta doon, wala kayong choice. 'Di ba? Tapos as the class president back then, sobrang diktador ko talaga, girl. As in, sinasabihan ko yung mga klase ko dati na huwag kayo mag-post Snapchat. Yung Snapchat pa dati.
Oo, bawal makopya.
Bawal makopya. Tapos, naalala ko, may time na na-stress ako kasi di ba may gate yung school? Nakita ko yung students ng ibang section, sila, may truck na nagbababa ng mga props nila. Tapos parang ako, oh my God, guys, kailangan natin galingan. So grabe, no? May mga pagganon talaga. I think mga kawayan yata yung binababa.
Lagi yan, kawayan.
Kawayan. Yun yung mga staples ng sabayang pagbigkas. And going back to the black shirt, and the black shirt and leggings. Bakit? Hindi kami nagsash, in fairness. We're not like other girls.
Missed out on a lot.
Bakit kaya, bakit ba tawag dito, bakit black shirt yung sobrang staple na costume? May logic ba dun? Or dahil yun lang yung madali?
Well, but I think one, madali siya. And also usually the pieces that we do for mga, ito nga, sa bayang pagbigkas, they're very dramatic and like very, very serious yung topic eh. So I feel like black is the perfect color for that as well.
Kasi serious yung topic.
Kasi serious, dramatic.
Ito pa, hindi na to high school. Hindi ko to makakalimutan. Nung college, nagsabayang pagbigkas din kami. Kasi yung department namin, hindi naman kasi kami ganun kalaki. So every year, tuwing August, yung department namin may sabayang pagbigkas siya. Tapos nung first year kami, in the spirit of wanting to be different, yung ginamit naming costume, black shirt, pero yung pants, alam mo yung elephants?
Bakit?
Makinig ka muna, pero alam mo yun.
Alam ko yun.
Hindi elephant, yung sa Thailand.
Oo nga.
It's unisex kasi. So, pwede siya for boys and girls kasi alam nga namang ipag-leggings namin yung boys. Hindi naman lahat willing mag-ganon, di ba? So, elephants, lahat pwede mag-ganon. Bahala na lang kayo kung anong kulay. And then, I remember, 1 hour before the program, yung isa kong blockmate, napunit yung elephants niya. Sa crotch area.
Sino to?
Hindi tayo magbabanggit ng mga pangalan dito bukod sa sarili nating pangalan. Okay, anyway. Napunot yung elephants niya kasi manipis lang yun, di ba? O parang cotton lang yun.
Oo.
Tapos with a lot of movement, may tendency talaga siyang masira.
Mapunit.
Pero wala kasi kaming extra and wala na rin kami ibang option. So, kailangan talaga niyang suotin yun. Wala siyang choice. So, alam mo kung paano ko inayos?
Ano?
Binaligtad ko as an inside out. Tapos, tinapler ko.
Pero di ba yung other side nun, malabo yung print or same lang?
Oo, tinapler ko siya from the inside. Tapos, binaligtad
tas
ko ulit.
binaliktad mo. Okay.
Oo, ganon.
O sana
Ay,
di siya
kokte.
nasugatan.
Hindi naman.
The lengths we go.
Yeah, for sa bayang pagbigkas.
Sa
no?
bayang pagbigkas.
Yeah, pero worth it naman. Tapos ano yung mga common choreography ng sabayang pagbigkas?
Ay,
Yung magsastomp.
magsastomp. Siyempre, it's all about
Oo.
It's all about the sound.
Impact. Yes,
Oo,
impact.
And whichever way you can make strong sounds, kailangan i-give yan. So kung may
It
props
was
ka,
basically,
kalampagin mo yan.
It was the first 4D experience for me. Yung sabayang pagbigkas. O kaya yung yung hahampasin yung, tawag dito, yung floor ng stage.
Oo, ganon, sa kaluhod.
Oo, nakaluhod.
Tapos ano pa yan, mabagal pa yan. Tapos bibilis.
Oo, tapos minsan may mga soloist, di ba? Yung mga soloist yung bida.
Oo. Nag-solo ka ba sa mga ganon? Siyempre.
I think nag-solo ako, pero marami kami. Parang isa-isang soloist, ganon, for different parts. Tapos kailangan for impact, yung iba may skit pa before the actual sabayang pagbigkas.
Oo. Ang alam ko nga, pwede yun may intro, kahit may konting music.
Oh.
For the intro.
Ang taray, okay.
Pwede yan. Tapos mag-start yung piece.
Nag-away-away din ba yung mga section nyo?
Hindi kaming magkaka-section.
Ikaw yung inaway, no? Feeling ko ikaw yung inaway.
Usually normal naman yan. Diba? Pag talagang may makulit na hindi binibigay yung ba't di mo kaya? Sabihin mo lang naman.
Bakit di mo kaya igiling?
Diba? Sigaw ka lang eh.
Tapos, minsan may
iiyak. May umiyak na ba? Dahil sa practice.
Wala pa naman. Pero feeling ko yung mga ayoko dun yung ang daming gastos.
Totoo. Singi ka pa sa parents. Hindi mo alam paano i-explain. Kailangan ko ng ganito.
Ang funny talaga. Okay, sige. Bukod sa sabayang pagbigkas, ano pa yung mga favorite mo na buwan ng wika moments? Bukod sa pinag-participatean mo, So, syempre, hindi lang naman ikaw yung nagbabuwan ng wika.
Ano pa ba? Yun yung pinaka-naalala ko aside from...
Nag-ano rin ba kayo, yung mga palaro-palaro? Wala ba kayong ganun?
May mga ganun din. May mga palo sebo pa nga ata ako naalala
Palo sebo ba yung...
No, palo sebo yung kawayan na kailangan mong akyatin. And at the top of it, may pot na kailangan mo or flag or something.
Oo.
Ano yung, tawag dito? Ang tawag doon? Banga something?
Nakalimutan ko rin. Hala, ang tunay na Pilipino.
Yung kailangan mong basagin yung banga.
Oo. Alam ko yung tinutukoy mo. Sa mga viewers, please comment down below. Tinatamad po kami mag-google. Ano ang star ng buwan ng wika potluck?
Di ba, usually adobo. Ako ang favorite ko, yung itlog na maalat.
I think iba-iba tayo ng mga handa. Sa amin, yung mga na-order like pansit.
Ay, sorry, kami sa tinbaon. Pero di ba usually, sa Buddha fight, may adobo dyan, may pansit. Lagi namang may
yung mga Filipino food.
It's my favorite. It's my favorite.
Since Kapampangan ka, kayo ang culinary capital of the Philippines, I'm curious kung ano yung mga, kasi kami ngayon yung mga basic na pansit, may
sisig.
Liempo. Yes, sisig. Nilalagyan niyo ba ng mayonnaise ang sisig? Or
walang sisig ang mayonnaise sa mga kapapa. So,
walang sisig ang mayonnaise o walang mayonnaise ang sisig?
Walang mayonnaise ang sisig namin.
So, anong message mo sa Mang Inasal at sa Gilligans? Charing!
Magsara na kayo.
Pero bakit sobrang, are you guys like Italians na sobrang protective niyo over your food culture?
How much time do we have?
Go lang! We have all the time in the world.
Yes, I like that analogy. In so many ways, we're like Italians because, and it's
Are we
not
being
just with,
stereotypical?
no, it's true.
Oo
May
naman,
pinanggagalingan naman kasi talaga siya.
Oo.
In so many ways, totoo siya, and it's not just with food. I read this from a Kapampangan historian. Kasi Kapampangans have this reputation of being like mayabang.
Mm-mm.
Like we're a
Very
people
proud, yeah.
yeah, we're very proud people. We like to celebrate. We like to flaunt our culture, our identity.
Mm-mm.
And may pinanggagalingan siya. Ang sabi ng isang Kapampangan historian, it's actually a defense mechanism. Because if you look at Pampanga from like a geographical standpoint, we're surrounded by Tagalog-speaking regions. So it's quite an
Mm.
anomaly for a province to have its own language.
Oh.
And it's also
Sorry,
one
Lods,
way we defend ourselves. I want to be oppressed so bad. Okay. No, in so many ways, it's also how we defend ourselves against the imperial bully that is Manila.
Binuli ba kayo ng Manila?
No, I mean, it can be. I mean, minsan na-overpower ng isa yung isa. Tsaka kasi
Oo.
nga, geographically, we're surrounded by Tagalog-speaking regions. So that's
Oo.
one way we preserve our identity. We advocate for our culture and histories by, being like that. So,
Mm.
di kami miyabang for no good reason.
Yes. Deserve naman.
It's our defense mechanism. And I like that you asked that kasi
Deserve mabully. Joke!
kasi pag buwan ng wika, it presents a perfect opportunity for us to talk about our identity, and one way we can do that is through language, 'di ba?
Yeah.
Madaming reason bakit natin ginagawa yung these types of celebrations, but for buwan ng wika specifically, it's our time to appreciate our national language, which is Filipino.
Yeah. That's what I'm curious about, Dodds. Because, yeah, our national language is Filipino, which is derived from Tagalog. And by the way, ang daming foreigners na nalilito kung anong difference ng
Yes.
Tagalog and Filipino, ha? So, I think short explainer lang. Well, Tagalog is a language. The national language is Filipino. So, kasi nagkaroon na rin ng variations yung Tagalog. Tapos, nung
Yes.
nagkaroon tayo ng national language, naging Filipino siya. Tama naman, di ba? Baka sabihin ng
Tama
mga tao,
siya.
fake news ako eh.
I think, please
Yeah.
don't count me on this. I think it's one way to put it also. It's standardized Tagalog.
Yeah, standardized Tagalog.
Yeah.
Yeah. And even if mali kami,
Please,
ang
let us
daming
know.
ang daming nga nagsasabi, ang daming nga influencers nagsasabi ng mali pero andyan pa rin sila.
Looking at you.
Okay, ito na yung tanong ko. That's what I'm curious about because as Kapampangans, do you celebrate the Filipino language or the Kapampangan language during Buwan ng Wika?
We celebrate the Filipino language.
Oh, Filipino language. Okay.
Oo.
And what does it mean to you having a national language if your mother tongue is different?
Thank you. What a wonderful question. It means a lot to me.
Mm-mm.
Kasi nung bata ako, it's how I was able to... It's one of the tenets that allowed me to develop my identity and look at it as a whole. Like,
Mm-mm.
kasi I have an identity as a Kapampangan. I'm a part of a smaller community as a Kapampangan. But I'm
Yeah, di
also
ba
part
Mexican
of
ka?
Oo. Hola.
My favorite Mexican.
Hola sa ating mga listeners. ¿Cómo estás? ¿Cómo estás? I come from the small town of Mexico, Pampanga, to our listeners. Yeah, as I was saying, parang pa-realize niyo sa akin na I'm also part of a larger community. And that is, the Philippines. And I have developed and grown an appreciation for it. Ako when I was in school na. Kasi the language that I spoke at home, the language that taught me love, the language that taught me care and responsibility, my mother tongue, is really Kapampangan. So I learned Filipino and English at school almost simultaneously. So, dun ko na-realize na I'm part of a larger, bigger culture. And one way I was able to put that into practice na talaga was when I moved out of our house for college. And I started meeting people from different areas of the Philippines. Like, because having a national language gives me a sense of nationhood that connects me, a Kapampangan, with someone from Davao, let's say, and gives us a common ground. That's beyond geography.
Yeah.
So in so many ways, it's allowed me to expand my view on my very own identity and connect with other Filipinos and feel more Filipino. Not to say that you're any less Filipino, diba? If you don't speak the language, if you speak
Yes.
Filipino or yeah, it's not exactly your first language, but just to have something in common with, the rest of the Philippines.
Mm-mm. And I feel so proud that we have a national language because
Yes.
not all countries have that, especially those that were.
Talaga ba? I
Yeah,
didn't know that.
Singapore is an English-speaking country.
Oh,
Diba?
right.
But
Yeah,
they're an
yeah.
Asian country. I didn't realize that growing up na sobrang halaga nun for a country's national identity. And I think the fact that we have that, it's actually also a nation-building tool.
Well,
Mm.
ako, Pao, like speaking as a Kapampangan, syempre, speaking as a multilingual,
Mm-mm.
I don't feel like I'm the same person in every language.
Talaga?
Feeling ko iba yung personality, yung character ko kapag nagsasalita ako in Kapampangan, in Filipino, and then in English.
Mm-mm.
Is it the same for you? Halimbawa, do you think mas funny ka ba in Filipino or
Mm.
in English?
I think funny ako in both languages.
Totoo naman.
Pero yeah, actually, mas funny ako in Filipino, I would say. Kasi, well, for one, mas natural yun sa akin. And iba kasi talaga yung yung emotions kapag Filipino. Kasi nga mother tongue natin yun. And I guess that's why mas masakit din yung mga love songs in Filipino or kahit anong kanta, di ba? Yun yung naisip ko eh. Kasi I think for me, speaking in English was something I acquired from years of, going to school. And it was
Yes.
also part of, what I studied and the official language that we use in our workplace. So, in a way, it feels like a performance. Yeah, even yung accent ko, may mga
Do you lose the
personality.
accent when you speak to foreigners?
I think my accent becomes a little more American when I speak with foreigners. It's not that I'm trying so hard when I do it.
Yes.
It's like a switch.
Mhm.
It's a switch for me that it just happens naturally.
That's kasi same din ako. My thinking voice is in English.
Thinking voice, like in your head.
Yes, when I think,
Ah,
I think in English. It's basically what I'm trying to say.
okay.
Kasi minsan just the English language has the better or the more accurate technical word for something I'm like looking for. Pero to your
Mm-mm.
point, iba yung weight kapag something is said or heard in Filipino.
Mm-mm.
Kasi may mga, eto, tanongin kita, may favorite Filipino word ka ba?
Wala naman. Oh my God, dapat napaghandaan ko to, no? Sige, favorite Filipino word. Kailangan ba maganda?
Hindi naman. Ako, very generic yung sagot ko. Yung mga walang English
Go, ikaw muna.
counterparts.
I need more time. Go
Yung
muna.
mga walang English counterparts. Like,
Like,
that now have become also a part of the English dictionary. Like,
Oo.
gigil, kilig.
Okay.
Yun. Kasi parang it signals the uniqueness
Oo.
and of the Filipino language, diba? The richness is what I'm trying to say of
Mm-mm.
the Filipino language.
Mm-mm.
So,
Ako
ayun,
siguro
wala lang.
ano?
Babaw na lang.
Siguro ako, dalamhati.
Ay, ang bigat nun.
Ang bigat. Sa'yo, gigil and kilig eh. Sa akin,
Oo.
parang kabaliktaran.
Dalamhati, parang yun yung mga org event.
Yung mga ginugugol natin deep Tagalog
Oo.
words.
Tas dalamhati, tas English title.
.mnl.
Oo. Language is such a huge determiner of, our identity, how we present ourselves.
Mm.
So the fact that we don't think we're the same people depending on the language that we use. I don't know, I think it's just quite interesting. Ito, may isa pa akong tanong last na. Because we code switch a lot. Do you think Taglish is bad Filipino?
Uy, hindi naman. Siyempre, well, kasi as a Taglish speaker, no, it's not bad. Well, if you think about it, yung language natin in Filipino, maraming borrowed words dyan from Spanish eh. So, it's a product of our past, and English also is because we were colonized by the US. I guess sometimes I would admit I find it annoying even for myself when I listen to myself. Minsan parang ang arte ko naman or pwede ko namang Tagalogan ng dire-diretso. Minsan nagiging pet peeve ko rin yun. But it's not to the point that I would say that it's bad.
It's bad.
Siguro for other people, namamatay yung sarili nating language. But at the same time, language is dynamic. it's one of the tenets of language. Kailangan nag-evolve siya for it to
Yes.
for it to continue living. Kasi for example, ang Latin, kaya siya namatay kasi hindi siya nag-evolve. Hindi siya nag-develop,
Yes.
parang it stayed the same. So yung
Yes.
language natin na yung marami tayong gay lingo na sinasama sa mga language natin, that itself is part of development.
Ang ganda nun
Ah,
kasi naalala ko din parang natutunan ko to sa isang wika class nung college. Ang sabi ng professor nun, isa sa mga signs na buhay ang language ay kapag nag evolve siya.
mm
So, nag evolve tayo mga tao. So, naturally, mag evolve din yung language. And it's not exactly a bad thing because it just means
mm
the language is alive.
Yeah. Pero how do you feel? Ito medyo, baka may mga matamaan dito. I feel that a lot of kids now
Ay,
are English speakers.
totoo yan.
And hindi na
I'll start with my
nakakapag-Tagalog.
siblings. I wanna call them out. They don't watch this. I'm calling out my siblings. My nephews and nieces, they don't know how to speak Filipino and Kapampangan. I mean,
Oh.
majority of them were born and grew up abroad. Pero some of them, the two of them, still, spent some time here.
Mm-mm.
But it was just, they didn't pick up the language, neither Kapampangan or Filipino. It
Mm-mm.
just makes me sad, honestly. And it's a
Mm-mm.
promise I made to myself na if I ever have kids in the future, I will make it. I will make it to a
Mm-mm.
point they speak Filipino and Kapampangan. Ewan ko,
Mm-mm.
it makes me sad when Filipino kids don't know how to speak Filipino or don't even understand Filipino.
Yeah. It makes me sad also, especially kapag homegrown. Like, lumaki ng
Laki
Pilipinas.
dito,
And
no?
parang for me, what's the reason? Like, there's no reason for you to not learn Filipino. Again, sorry, alam kong medyo controversial to because
Yes.
maybe some people listening have the same experiences. But yes, we need to keep speaking our own language, otherwise it would die. It can evolve. We can keep adapting words, but we have to use it. That's
Mhm.
my hot take. Na
Ako din.
yeah, we need to keep it alive.
Hindi siya nakaka-cool if you're being
Mm.
intentional about teaching your kids just English.
Yeah.
Hindi siya nakaka-social,
Yeah.
hindi siya nakaka-international.
Mm-mm. And also, I think it's a reflection na rin kasi of the workplace that we got used to. Like maybe for some parents, and this is where I have empathy in. Maybe for some parents,
Yes.
they want their children to be able to adapt to the workplace that's waiting for them. That
Mhm.
very much prizes English fluency because
Yeah.
a lot of the industries in the Philippines, well, obvious naman, talagang they really prioritize English speaking skills because you work with a lot of foreign stakeholders or a lot of multinationals, 'di ba?
Totoo. May
Ang dami,
pinanggagalingan siya eh. And it's
ang
very
daming
valid.
layers, ang
Oo,
daming
ang daming
layers.
layers. Ang akin lang parang, if you're teaching your kids how to speak English, teach them Filipino also.
Yeah.
Especially when they're young, when their minds are most impressionable. That's
Yeah.
the prime or the perfect opportunity for you
Yeah.
to, develop a love for learning a language or, help them learn a language kasi that's when they're able to pick it up like the best.
Yeah. And ito natutunan ko din to nung back in school. The ages between 0 to 7 years old, that's the best time for children to learn multiple languages. Kasi dun sila
Diba?
pinaka-adaptive. It's called the universal language, if I'm not mistaken.
Ayun! Teach your kids how to speak Filipino.
Yeah,
Magtagalog
para
na
ma-appreciate din
Filipino
nila
kayo.
yung mga
Diba?
kanta ng Ben and Ben, ni Regine Velasquez.
Correct.
Diba?
At para
Ang
kapag
ganda. Yeah.
nagsabayang pagbigkas sila, hindi sila mahirapan at di sila mapagalitan ng leader.
Oo.
Kasi bihasa
para-
sila at mahusay
True.
silang managalog.
At para pag na-heartbroken sila, makarelate sila sa mga kantang Pinoy. Ang ganda kaya ng mga kantang Pinoy, di ba?
Diba? Imagine di mo naintindihan si Nina, si City.
Mm-mm. Imagine hindi mo naiintindihan ng Kitchinadal medley. I feel bad
Diba?
for you.
Or yung Constantino.
Oo, grabe. Imagine mo yun. So, para din sa ikabubuti ng mga anak nyo, please speak to your children in Filipino.
Ako lang ba? Okay, sige. Last na talaga. Mas may bigat at mas may lalim ang Filipino sa akin.
Mm-mm.
Kasi for me, English is the most euphemistic language for me. Pero kung sa bigat at weight ng salita, well, obviously the most intimate one for me would be Kapampangan. Pero
Mm-mm.
second to that would be Filipino.
So, yes, this month really is about a celebration of our language. And of course, we consume that in our media every day. Di ba may mga required readings tayo? Anong paborito mo doon?
Very generic answer, pero totoo talaga, No Limit Tangere talaga for me.
No Limit Tangere.
No Limit Tangere talaga. Hindi ko dinaya
Yeah.
yan Kasi nung high school, binasa ko yung buong libro.
Mm-mm.
And I don't know, it was just so profound.
Yes.
And the storytelling, the characters,
Mm-mm.
and to this day it remains relevant. Yun talaga yung
Yeah.
favorite ko.
Yeah. Sasabihin ko rin sana yun kaso ayoko nang manggaya. Jose Rizal really cooked there. It slaps. Of course, it's a very good required reading. I really loved Ibong Adarna also.
Same.
Actually, hindi ko na masyadong maalala yung
Hindi ko na rin masyado maalala.
yung mga nangyari. Basta naalala ko lang yung message
Naging
niya.
ibon siya. Diba?
Hindi. Niretrieve niya yung ibon.
Nire-retrieve niya yung ibon.
Naging ibon siya.
Sorry, nakalimutan ko na.
Hindi. Tatlo silang brothers. Lahat sila princess.
Yes.
Tapos
yes.
yung dalawang
They were
kuya na
on a
una.
mission to
Oo.
find the Ibong
Find
Adarna.
the Ibong Adarna. Tapos
Okay.
yung bunso yung nag-succeed. Ganon.
Yes, naalala ko na. Oo.
Oh. Naging ibon siya. Di maka-cancel tayo dito.
I need to refresh my
Okay.
Filipino
But in modern times, there's also a lot of, pieces of Philippine literature that I really resonated with. And I guess this is a callback from one of our previous episodes, ang July na Magdangal, wherein we talked about, some of the nostalgic pieces that we really liked. But I guess to make that a little bit more intellectual, do you have, pieces of Philippine media that really resonated with you and parang really shaped your way of thinking, the way that you view things, ganon?
Ako si Ricky Lee. I just recently read his script writing book.
Mm-mm.
I don't know what it's called. A Trip to Quiapo. Yes. Yeah, that's one. Kasi the references there, he was referencing a lot of Filipino films, TV, basically while teaching you how to write a really good and compelling script. And wala lang, na-enjoy ko lang siya. And I actually am on a mission to read more Ricky Lee books.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, that's something I'm hoping I could do. Need to hold myself accountable. Ay, si Ricky Lee. Yeah, ikaw ba?
Yes. One thing that I can remember is Smaller and Smaller Circles.
Oh, is that a poem or a book?
It's a book by F.H. Batacan. So if I were to sell that to you in one sentence, think of Knives Out, but make it Catholic Church. So it's a serial killer. It's a serial killer novel, and it's the first Filipino crime novel, and it won a Palanca in the late 90s, if I'm not mistaken. And it was turned into a movie. I think parang mga mid 2010s. I think college na tayo nung naging movie siya, and it's available on YouTube. So maganda siya for me kasi ang daming layers. So it really talks about how poverty plays in attaining justice and how that affects the victims and how they could possibly turn out after.
You know what also shaped a lot of my interest in Filipino literature was si Bob Ong. This may be quite an unpopular opinion, pero
Yeah.
I really enjoyed reading his books when I was in high school kasi nga my sister had a lot of Bob Ong books as well. So, ano yung
Aba, nakakabasa na pala ako.
nakakabasa na pala ako, although I didn't watch the movie, sorry. Pero yeah, I read the book. What else?
Nalala ko yung
Paboritong libro ni Judas? Or aklat ni Judas?
Oo.
Ayun.
Paboritong aklat ni Judas. May isa pa naalala ko, binasa ko rin, Stainless Longganisa.
Yes, Stainless Longganisa.
Yes.
That was about, yun ba yung tungkol sa manananggal?
Alam mo, hindi ko siya maalala. But I remember, I read a lot of that also as a child kasi my older brother also had it.
Yes. So yun, Bob Ong. Read Bob Ong.
Yeah, read Bob Ong. I think kasi Bob Ong books, they normally start na nakakatawa.
Yes.
Tapos throughout time, I mean, as the books progress, makikita mo na there's some social relevance to it.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, ako naman, dekada 70.
Ah.
Alam mo to? Familiar?
Yes.
Familiar. So it's it's a novel by Luwalhati Bautista. And it's a really, really good novel. Talks about a family. It's a middle class, I would say upper middle class family pa nga nung martial law. But it's fiction. It was adapted to a movie.
The
Vilma
movie, yeah.
Santos, Christopher De Leon, Papa P, all the big names, they were there. Ang ganda niya. Tsaka ang ganda ng writing. I mean, if you guys can watch the movie because you don't have time, that's great. But if you have the time to read the novel, it's really good also. Grabe yung writing ni Luwalhati Bautista. Isa dun sa mga memorable lines na naalala ko noon was, ang payapang pampang ay para lang sa mga pangahas na sasalunga sa alimpuyo ng mga alon sa panahon ng unos. Who thinks of that? Sige, Englishin natin para sa mga konyo. Tranquil shores are only for those who boldly oppose raging waves during storms. Slaps.
She's our Sylvia Plath.
She mothered
she's
her.
our Luwalhati Bautista.
Yeah, she's our Luwalhati Bautista, bar none. Anyway, your turn.
Yun na yun sa akin.
Okay.
Other than like books, it was mostly film for me. I mean, not really mostly. Isa sa mga paborito kong, pwede ba tayong pumunta sa pelikula?
Sure, yes, of
was
course.
Insyang.
Familiar.
Lino Broca ba ang nag-direct ng Insyang? Actually,
I love Lino Broca. May mga sinabi siya about politics na I can't say in this podcast, but I love it so much.
Yes, it was Lino Broca who directed the film. It's also one of the hallmarks of Philippine film and TV. And yeah, it's a good story. The storytelling is great, but I think what also made it so like impactful was because of the amount of controversy and backlash the film received from the government, because I think this was released during the martial law era.
Martial law. Yeah. Sige, my turn. Ito, it's in my drawer. This actually is not so old and it's written in the English language, but it's a series of essays. It's called Some Days You Can Save Them All by Dr. Ronnie E. Baticolon, who is a pediatric neurosurgeon at the UPPGH. We spent some time in the university and we saw firsthand what the conditions were like. So this book is a series of essays of his time there as a student, as a resident, and eventually as a professor. So ang ganda.
Ganda. Pahiram nga yan.
Yeah, sure. I like actually giving this as books to people who are important to me. So, yeah.
Is it written in English?
It's written in English, and the essay here, which has the same title, Some Days You Can Save Them All, won a Palanca also. I think in 2019, if I'm not mistaken. So, sobrang relevant nito kasi di ba nag-pandemic din after nun. So,
yeah.
I think this is something that we should all read. Ang ganda niya.
Ganda. Feel ko makaka-relate nga tayo dyan kahit we're not in the medical field because we saw PGH.
Sige, okay. Medyo naging seryoso yung usapan doon. So, since we were on the topic of literature and media, what are the markers of a Filipino classic? And this doesn't have to be serious. Like, think of teleseries. Ano yung mga something na pag nakita mo to sa TV, alam mong ay Pinoy to, even if nakamute yung TV. Ganon.
Sampalan,
di ba? Which I think we also got from Mexican telenovelas.
Yes.
Your hometown.
My hometown, yeah. We
yes,
originated that whole genre.
Yes. Bakit kaya yung nauso, no? But I think it's also connected kasi dun sa rich and poor trope. Na laging may mga ganong diba, eksena na may mayaman at mahirap.
At mayaman at mahirap.
Yeah.
I mean, ano pa ba? Yung mga batang napagpapalit sa hospital.
Oo. Alam mo, magandang pag-aralan yun. Actually, kung bakit naging theme yun sa mga Filipino works. Kasi hindi ko alam, but I'm sure there's a reason. Is it because of the economics of it all? Like, of course, the rich and poor make sense kasi parang aspirational yun for us. But yung mga batang napagpapalit, anong thought process kaya nun? Diba?
Yun nga din eh. Parang I think it's just really for the drama. And I think the whole point of it is like, our values as Filipinos or like greatly attached or tied to like family.
Ayun din.
To make it
family.
Interesting, let's create drama.
Let's imagine natin na mga screenwriters. Gumawa tayo ng segment that I'd like to call Pinoy plot generator. So let's think of a character allocation and a dilemma.
Sige.
Tapos gagawa natin siya ng story. Parang ano tayo?
Kwento.
Oo, salitan. O sige, character, sinong naiisip mo?
Character lang to ha.
Character lang, kailangan
Mag-isa tayo sa isang beauty queen.
Beauty queen. Okay, describe this beauty queen.
Yeah, well, maganda siya. Lumaki siya na laging sinasabihan na, ang ganda mo, sumali ka ng pageant. Ang pangalan niya ay si Jemerlyn.
Okay, Jemerlyn.
Si Jemerlyn ay sumali ng isang pageant sa kanyang local municipality. Kasi fiesta sa local municipality nila sa barangay, ay sa town ng Santa Ana, nakatabi ng Mexico.
Okay, so nasagot mo na yung next, yung question. So,
sila.
Si Jemerlyn ay isang aspiring beauty queen from Santa Ana, Pampanga. So, ako naman, bibigay ako, ang dilemma niya, ang challenge dun sa arc niya ay, meron siyang kakambal na si Jemima.
Our listeners.
Oo. Actually, dedicated to sa inyo eh. Tapos, nagtagpo sila doon sa beauty pageant.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Sige, ituloy mo.
Itutuloy ko. So, naghiwalay sila nung bata pa lang sila. Sa kadahilan ng hindi natin alam, pero nagtagpo nga sila sa pageant dahil sila yung last two standing.
Sila yung finalists.
At nung pagtingin, di ba, pag finalist kayo, naghahawak kamay nila.
Oo.
Pagtingin ni Jemerlyn sa kamay ni Jemima, nakita niya na may pareho silang nunal. At balat.
Parang,
at doon niya napagtanto na, teka, hindi normal to.
bakit parang nakatingin ako sa salamin?
Tama.
Tapos, nalaman ni Jemima na si Jemerlyn ay mayaman siya. Pero si Jemima ay galing lamang sa payak na pamilya. Tapos, nakita ng nanay ni Jemerlyn si Jemima nung magkasabay sila sa entablado at sinabi niyang, siya ba ang nawawala kong supling?
I-announce na ang winner.
Nanalo
si Jemerlyn. Tapos binu siya ng audience kasi malalaman natin na anak pala siya ng mayor ng Santa Ana. So ibinu siya ng audience. Tapos umakyat yung mayor, syempre, i-defend yung anak niya at doon niya nakita si Jemima. At katulad ng asawa niya, nagkaroon na siya ng moment na parang
tapos, kinamayan niya si Jemima. Tapos, parang nagkaroon sila ng lukso ng dugo. Tapos, may isang tumayo sa audience. Sabi niya, itigil niyo yan. Ako ang doktor sa ospital ng Santa Ana. Tapos, sabihin ng mayor, anong ibig sabihin nito, Doc?
Ang ibig sabihin nito ay, kambal po ang anak nyo.
Pero bakit mo sila pinaghiwalay, Doc?
Pinaghiwalay ko sila kasi hindi ako mabuting doktor. May namatay na sanggol sa pangangalaga ko. So, kinailangan ko siyang palitan. Hindi ko alam.
Tapos, tatay yung nanay ni Jemima. Sabihin niya, ang ibig niyo po bang sabihin ay hindi ko totoong anak si Jemima?
Sabi ng isang nanay.
Oo.
Narito ako sa mga pangalan. Tama. Hindi mo siya totoong anak. Dahil ang anak mo ay pumanaw sa hospital at ang ipinalit ko sa kanya ay si Jemima.
Tapos may isa pang tatayo sa audience. Hindi totoo yan. Ako ang nurse. Buhay ang totoo mong anak. At nandito siya.
At siya ay si candidate number 2. Tapos umakyat si candidate number 2.
Tapos umakyat si candidate number 2, sabihin niya, ako po ang tunay niyong anak at pinapatawad ko na po ang lahat ng mga sangkot.
So, syempre, emotional na lahat.
Emotional na lahat, oo.
Yung audience din invested na. Wala na silang pakialam sa pageant. So, nagsalita na yung mayor. Ang gagawin ng mayor, syempre sabihin niya, tinatanggap kita, Jemima, bilang aking anak. Bilang mayor ng town na to, gusto kitang ipakilala sa publiko bilang aking anak. So,
Okay.
sige, tuloy mo pa. Kaya pa.
Sige, ito na yung last. Magpapalakpakan ng mga tao. Tapos, lalabas si Tito Boy at mamamahagi ng cash sa lahat ng mga nanonood. The end.
At doon matatapos ang kwento.
Okay.
Diba?
The end. Wow! At sa lahat po ng nanonood, maraming salamat po sa inyong pagsuporta sa Chika Off Duty.
Yeah, sana na-enjoy nyo to, although medyo lutang siya. But yes, maligayang buwan ng wikang pambansa sa inyong lahat.
And with that, I am Pao.
And I am Dads. At
kami ang
Tambalang
Tambalang Pods!
Pods!
So follow us on our social media at Chika Off Duty on Instagram and Chika Off Duty Pod on TikTok. You can also send us your feedback at chikaoffduty@gmail.com. Thank you guys for listening.
Bye-bye!
Bye!